Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is the preview for Manchester United against Arsenal at the Emirates. I'm joined by Gaz Drinkwater, taking a sip of your coffee there. How you doing, mate?
I really timed that well, didn't I?
Yeah, nice.
I'm all good, mate. I've not recovered in the slightest from the thrashing against you know who.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But we're ignoring that and we're moving on
Yeah.
to a potential thrashing this weekend instead of the one in midweek.
Come on!
We've also got Adam McKola here as well on the telly. How you doing, Adam?
How you doing? You good, lads?
You've rebuilt your character, your personality, your life after Tuesday night?
That was bad, wasn't it? I was sat there wishing injuries on people, and that was so bad.
I know. You were just like, just knock them out, hit them, tackle them, kill them. We saw the worst of all of us, I think, Tuesday night. But let's look forward a little bit.
Apologise to my family.
Apologise to his family and his supporters in this difficult time. United have got some level of optimism. Some call it a PR stunt. Some call it, some level of trying to keep the fans happy. But we have announced Erik Ten Hag to be the new manager today, officially through the club. We've seen quotes from him, quotes from the club. Will this play any effect at the weekend?
No.
Do you think the players will see this and go, right, I need to put my ideas up? Because we knew it was coming anyway.
Nah, I reckon a lot of these players, especially the ones that have really sort of let us down of late, they know they're off in the summer. I think they want to go in the summer. They've already given up. I think they've shown. And also, let's not forget Ralph Rangnick's still here next summer. So these lot that are showing themselves up and have done over the last few months, it's not like Ten Hag's going to be like, right, fresh start, guys. Don't worry, fresh start. Rangnick's going to be upstairs saying, no, he's a twat. Get him out. So, mate. Nah, nothing changes.
What do you think, Adam? Do you think there's any chance that this, the players sort of think, right, I need to put my ideas up if I want to be playing next season? Because some of them are like Pogba will get a good club, a big club, whatever. But if Maguire and Shaw and these players don't turn it around, they're going down in terms of the club. You know what I mean? They're not going to Real Madrid.
They've known this whole time we're going to have a new manager. There's nothing new.
So how can, does that then...
In fact,
go on.
Forget the new manager. We've had something to fight. I know top four isn't a trophy and all that, but they haven't seemed bothered about that. Why are they going to be bothered about anything else?
Does that then stand to reason that Ten Hag won't be able to get anything out of him next season either? Or will there be a different feeling?
No, because
motivation going forward?
I expect with a pre-season with a lot of changes, which I think you expect. Like if you look at the team that played against Liverpool, I know we're trying to wipe that out of our memory. What is it? Matic, Pogba started, right? Lingard started.
Lingard came on just shortly after Pogba, didn't he?
Lingard came on. Pogba, you look at all these, they're not going to be there next season. Mata's not going to be there next season. He's come on a few games. So there's some that are definitely not going to be here. That some that we know aren't good enough. And then you've got the likes like Sancho, Ilanga, Varane, who's not fit anyway. Maybe Delo, De Gea. But there's a few players that actually that have actually already been working hard and doing stuff. They've been the standouts anyway. Hannibal, when he came on, those are the players you're excited to see under Ten Hag, and they've been in the minority rather than the majority. So I don't think you can really expect wholesale changes from this disappointment. And like Gaz said, they've known it for a while. We've all known it for a while.
They have, yeah. I mean, the problem is, though, some of these players are going to have to be playing for Man United next season. We can't change every single player that's not been good enough. So at some point, they need to turn it around. And like I said, hopefully with the pre-season, with a bit of optimism and a kind of a fresh set of ideas that Ten Hag will bring, maybe they can turn it around then. But I mean, it's not looking good, is it?
It sounds mad, right? But then you say then, we can't get rid of all of these players that aren't good enough or that haven't been good enough. Why?
Because no one's ever done that.
I know it sounds mental. No one else has the money that Man United have.
No, but there's teams that are close to the amount of money United have. No, other than Watford when they just, got everyone from Italy on loan. No one's ever done a full 10 or 11 people change in a season. It just doesn't happen. So I'm not saying it can't happen,
feasibly,
but historically
Joe,
it doesn't.
let's count here.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up, Joe. Listen to the screen.
Go on then.
You got Mata, Lingard, Pogba, Matic. That's already 4 that's gone.
Yeah, Jones, Martial.
Yeah.
Jones, 5 gone. Martial, I think that's 60-40 gone.
Yeah.
Have you said Cavani yet?
Cavani.
Ten Hag, Cavani's gone.
Cavani's gone.
6.
Mate, I reckon you've got 8, 9 going.
Yeah,
So that's 6 that are gone.
Yeah.
That are just gone. Like whether we want to keep them or not, they are gone. See you later. So now you've got Maguire. I think Ten Hag's going to come in and go, you're not captain anymore, mate. Something's going to happen there. Is he going to go? Is he going to stay? Maybe he could be better under a new coaching and that. Who knows? Lindelof, I'll file him in kind of like, I think he'll stay. You know what I mean? He'll be one of the safe ones maybe because of the way he plays. Rashford, whenever I see things where it goes, he's off, I think, nah, Rashford ain't leaving. And then you keep seeing it. But I think Ten Hag would be amazing for Rashford. I think Ten Hag would be amazing for Sancho. I think Ten Hag would be amazing for Varane, Hannibal. Donny van der Beek's probably the only man that's mood has changed since this decision. I think there's like players like that that will improve. Ethan Laird, who's not here yet. I think he's one of them. I think there's a lot of players we have here, but if you look at it, there's going to be a lot of changes, whether it's from within players being promoted into the team, or whether we're going to have to make signings. And when Rangnick said we could make 7 signings, I think that has to be the target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm hopeful.
It might not happen. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But that has to be the target.
I'm hopeful. And I think there will be 9 or 10 players who leave the squad. But I think the idea of signing players to replace all of them is almost
okay,
impossible.
all of them, yeah, right. Like, let's say 9 players leave the squad. That's what I reckon it'll be about.
Yeah.
I think you can look at signing at least. It sounds mad, but I really don't think it is. Go out and sign 6 players.
Yeah.
And it sounds mad, but Man United will never, ever really be under any financial fair play regulation for the amount of money that we make. So we can spend as much money as we want. Obviously, we know why that doesn't happen. It's the owners. But hypothetically speaking, United could say, right, 350 million to spend on 7 players, which when you actually sort it out, when you've got some players that could be up to about 80 million, isn't actually that much money. But we need to be signing players now that aren't players who we're signing just to sell a load of shirts. Players that actually fit in the squad. And if you do your scouting properly, you look there, you can find them players for £35 million, £50 million.
Well, talking about players coming in,
the Kantes and the Mahrez.
Yeah.
Also, if you look at, I already go right. Hannibal gets promoted to this first team squad. James Garner gets promoted to this first team squad. Ethan Laird, maybe that's a 50-50 unless it's beneficial for him to stay out on loan. If you just add those 3, I think that even brings, like, with 3 of the players going out and those 3 coming in, that brings a freshness to the team as well. So it's not just signings that are going to freshen this up.
Yeah, like, no offense to...
It has to be signings though, but...
Yeah, no offense to someone like
Juan
Mata, who obviously Hannibal has, not had the career that Juan Mata's had. But I think Hannibal could play the amount of minutes next season that Matt has played this season. Like, he could replace him in that squad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's more than capable of that. So, talking about some of the youngsters then, and looking ahead to the Arsenal game, and the rest of the season, are you expecting more involvement from them? The likes of, Hannibal and maybe even Charlie McNeil or some players from the youth team, because Hannibal was one of the few people after the Liverpool game that could sort of hold his head up and say, I actually tried my hardest. I actually kind of understood the situation here. Do we expect to see more of that? Because normally it's just like last home game of the season, throw a few young lads in. But now we might as well start immediately, aren't we?
Yeah, but I also kind of think, what do these young lads really have to gain too much at the end of this season? I think they're coming into a really negative atmosphere. It's asking a lot of them to throw them in Premier League game, perform against someone like Arsenal. I don't really think we should be crushing the young lads too much and just throwing them in there.
But if we're waiting for, handing him a game after we've already won the league, they might never play for Manchester United.
Well, I know, but luckily we have a new manager coming in this summer, don't we? A new manager who can spend the summer with them, coach them, evaluate them properly, as Ralph Rangnick hopefully has been doing. And next season, they'll be well in with a chance, especially the likes of, Medbury.
So what do you reckon, Adam? Do you think we'll see more of the youngsters?
I think you may see Hannibal start a game or something, because he's the closest one to it. He's played international football this season and he seems like the one that's kind of ready. But I agree with Gaz, like, you're going to kind of destroy him a little bit if you bring him in, unless last game of the season we've got like top 4's gone, which I assume it will be by that point. And because still we've got this false pretense of, we might get top 4. I don't think we will, but we've kind of got this. So I don't think it will happen unless you bring 10 of them in. So it's not, they're not surrounded by the useless idiots that have been there for a while. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, all right, this is clearly just an academy team going to Palace for the last day of the season or whatever.
All right, then. Well, with that, bearing that in mind, give me your predicted 11 for the game, Gaz. We'll start with you.
Well, I mean, it's a predicted 11, but there is also sort of elements of hope there.
Okay.
For example, I've dropped.
Same with mine.
I've dropped the Manchester United captain.
Right.
Mainly because I just don't want to see him in a United shirt for the rest of the season. I'm sorry, but I don't know what else to say about the guy without like going over the line here, but he's doing my frigging head in. David Hayes in goal, put Delo right back, Tellez left back, and Tellez left back as well. He's one of them, right, where I know he messed up in the Norwich game, but it's not really through a lack of effort that he messed up, it's through him.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, I've not decided to oust him totally. Phil Jones.
Some of our players, they're good, but they don't try, or they try, but they're not good.
Exactly.
Like, which would you prefer?
Phil Jones.
Yeah,
He's in the team. Victor Lindelof's in the team. Honestly, Phil Jones is just in the team just because it'll probably might be the last time we see him play for Man United. Like, I don't know, nostalgia reasons, innit? Matic, McTominay, and Bruno in the midfield. We're not fucking winning, are we? Matic, McTominay, and Bruno have put in the midfield. Hopefully, McTominay comes back for this game. I reckon we were all shouting for someone to get kicked in that Liverpool game. He would have done some kicking. And then Sancho, Ronaldo, and Elanga up front. 3 of the very few reasons we have to be.
He would have been trying to win the ball, but he would have done some kicking.
Yeah. I know. He would have been
nowhere near the ball. It would have been booked after about 6 minutes and not kicked anyone since.
Yeah.
I like that team.
Let's go for the ball.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough with the Maguire situation. It's no one really wants to see him play at the minute, do they? It's just whether the manager trusts Phil Jones in the back four.
I know he's playing, but
right, go on then, Adam. Give us your team.
See, I started off like Gaz, where I went, this is going to be realistic. I'm going to do predicted. And then as I was doing it, it was depressing. So I started being hopeful.
Have you got Teddy Sheringham in yours? I just thought, fuck it. We've got George Best on the right.
Henningberg.
Yeah,
centre back. So I went with De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, who for me has been one of our best players, and even he's been a little bit crap.
Yeah, even he got destroyed against City the other week.
Maguire. He's like Rangnick says all the right things, but then still
plays them all. Yeah.
Nah, he's gone at it. I mean, he's captain's gone at the end.
Delo.
Yeah.
Matic, Hannibal, Bruno. And then I went Ronaldo, Lingard, Sancho.
Lingard playing. That's interesting. Just because I
put history. Ronaldo because I heard he's back in training. Obviously, if he doesn't want to play, he doesn't play in it. Because of the circumstances. But if he's back in training, I assume these kind of athletes, they're incredible at times. We obviously give them an easy time, but they suffer things like this and they're just back to playing. Like you see people lose parents and lose, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo's lost a child here and he's just back. It's remarkable, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Is the Hannibal thing there almost a level of, I don't expect it, but I want to see it? Or do you think,
it's hope, but surely if he comes on as a sub, he has, and you know what the worst thing is? Hannibal's a baller, yeah. And all he did is come on like he was prime Ryan Shawcross and kick everything that moved. And we were like, yeah, he can play football.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a shit house at times, but he can play football. So I want to see him get a chance to do that. And I think against Arsenal, we were also a young team. If you play with Matic behind him, senior figure, Bruno, who's a bit of a wild card at times, he needs to relax. I know it's stressful. I know he's fit, like just try. I can't wait to see Bruno coached, by Ten Hag. I think he'll be back to being one of the best midfielders about.
Right, my team then I've gone, it's sort of a mixture of the two really. I've got De Gea in goal, Delo, Lindelof, Maguire, because I just think he will play, and Tellez, then a midfield 3 of McTominay, Hannibal, and Bruno. Like you said, if he's coming off the bench, Hannibal, he can't be that far off starting in the manager's mind, and he's one of the few players that has any sort of positive opinion of him at the moment. So I think he'll start, and then Sancho, Rashford, and Ronaldo. I just think it's too much to expect Elanga to start every single week when, at the minute he's not really producing the output that we'd want from him.
Not what Rashford is.
Not that Rashford is either, but Rashford's a more experienced player who's more capable of taking the pressure, I think, of these sorts of games. And it's it's just not fair on Elanga he's 19 years old.
I think we should just be playing Lingard more.
No. No, because he's not doing it either and he's leaving.
I'm sick of playing players that don't want
I know he's leaving, but he actually, when he plays, he looks better than he actually fucking runs.
Against Norwich he was all right.
Yeah,
I thought I don't think he deserved to go off in that game.
It wasn't Norwich
against the worst team in the league. He was all right, and I'm not knocking you. That's a fair.
These are the levels.
That's the biggest compliment we can give to anyone in the squad at the minute.
I mean, we were suing after that, so you shut up.
Let's talk about Arsenal. What are they at the minute? Fifth in the league. It's been declared a success under Arteta, despite they won one trophy and then haven't finished even top 4 yet. Is their improvement overblown, do you think, or do you think they are on the way back to being a top team, Adam?
I think they have improved. I think it's over-exaggerated because you've obviously got, if you look at it, they got knocked out of all the cups quite early and they didn't have European football. I think that massively helps you. And that's part of the reason why I've kind of been hoping United finish 9th. Like, as soon as we dropped out of top 4, I just thought, let's finish 9th. Let's not have Europe then. Champions League or nothing. Because I think the Europa League and stuff can derail your season at times. I think if West Ham didn't have the Europa League, for example, I think they probably wind up, 4th or 5th.
Mate, I don't want to interrupt you, mate. Sorry, but the Europa League.
No, you can.
The Europa League, that's our level now, mate. I don't get with this United.
No, it is, but
it's quite arrogant, isn't it? United fans to say, we should finish at 9th, get no European football. Lads, where we finish, that's our level. I'd rather us.
What's going to happen,
at this point? I'd rather us be in the Europa League.
He's going to be building a season, and it might come that the Europa League saves our season, we win a trophy, and we get Champions League football. But he's going to be in a season then where we're playing Sunday or Monday every time, Thursdays, and that does derail your season, whether you like it or not. And United are one of these teams where, even if we're in the Europa Conference League, I think we go, forget this. But if we're in the Europa League, we actually probably end up taking it seriously because you got the carrot of the Champions League and stuff. And then you get to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, which are great as a fan. I love it. I loved going to Stockholm. It was amazing. But I think it would affect our league campaign. And without it, I think there's a potential to probably get an extra 10 points. And that could bring you maybe second or third. You know what I mean? It could change the season a bit. So I do hope if we're not getting Champions League football, we're not going to finish outside of European spots. But I'd rather we did if we're not going in the Champions League.
Let's have a look at some predictions then. Gaz, what are you thinking for this one? At the Emirates, Arsenal, despite improving and beating Chelsea the other day, have lost 4 of their last 6 games in the Premier League. They're not exactly flying. What are you saying?
No, but what I was saying about them is they have improved. Last season was 8th. Let's be real. None of us predicted them to be 5th. They have improved, but they have benefited from some other circumstances. I also think it was a great decision, and United can take a big look. I don't think you take many examples from Arsenal, but one of them would be, look what they did with Aubameyang. They just went, you know what? It's a bit embarrassing. We're cutting our losses. Let's get rid of him. And their dressing room has benefited because of that. United need to do that with a couple of players. Just go, you know what? It's a waste of time. We spent a lot of money. It looks stupid, but let's just
see you later.
Arsenal with Arteta, it feels a little bit at times from maybe a bit of a lesser expectations of United under Ole. The expectation is just to improve season on season. Obviously, we'll wait and see whether this season they have actually improved on last season. But I think next season will be the season that we sort of realise whether Arteta is the real deal or not.
Yeah,
he'll need to win a trophy.
Arteta gets the benefit of being Spanish though as well, doesn't he?
Well, and being quite handsome and having good hair.
And being an assistant to Pep. Oli was always on to he doesn't deserve this job. Whereas there's been kind of like a narrative that Arteta deserves it. Even after 2 back. Imagine he took the United job and we finished 8th twice. Mate, he doesn't get to finish 8th a second time. He's gone. Chelsea, he for some reason their expectations, like Gaz said, plummeted to an all-time low. And they were happy with 8th a couple times.
Score prediction.
Head says we get beat 2-0. Heart says 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. I'm sticking with 1-1 draw. That's the official one. That's what it's going down as. Adam, you looking for a prediction down there? What you got? He's thinking about it.
1-1.
1-1. That's 2 1-1s now. I'm booking the trend.
1-1 win for United.
1-1 win for Manchester United. 1-1 to Manchester United. I'm going to go a 2-1 win. At some point, we have to win a game. At some point, we have to turn up. I know we're struggling against Arsenal.
That happened already against Norwich, you idiot.
Oh, yeah, shit. We did actually do that, didn't we?
What a win that was, though, boys. What a win.
I'm going to go 2-1. Get your score predictions in the comments. Let us know what you think is going to happen in this game. Is there a chance Manchester United still finish in the top 4? We don't believe it. But mathematically, while it's possible, we cannot rule it out. Adam, thank you for joining us. Thanks for coming on.
Changing my prediction. We're winning 4-0.
4-0.
Come on.
Guys, want to change yours last second?
We're winning 4-0 and we're finishing 4th.
We're finishing 4th. Thank you very much,
Hannibal
guys, for coming on. Where can people find you, mate?
You can find us on Twitter at radio_Gaz, or you can listen to my radio show on BBC Radio Manchester. It's called Talking Balls. It's on at 6 p.m.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much for joining us for the preview. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in a bit.